just so far, but it was almost inevitable that he wouldn't be able to resist in the end. And, well, he wasn't able to. Now, Karun has got Bruno Senna to defend, but if these two guys get their head down with 6 more laps, they could catch Romain Grosjean.
And at the moment, the difference between Grosjean and Chandhok is a matter of 3.5 seconds. But the difference between the ART car and the leading iSport car on the previous lap was 0.7 of a second. So they are lapping significantly faster.
And again, we talked about tyre degradation. That's what this race is all about. Last 10 laps were always going to be interesting. Pantano again, very, very fast.
Well, feinted to the left-hand side, and de Grassi went with him. He couldn't block off the move then, and that is excellent driving from Giorgio Pantano, who used his experience there, thought it through, and passed with ease eventually. Completely outfoxed him, but as he overcooked it into the chicane, now they're almost going wheel to wheel. Round club, the outside line for de Grassi. They touch wheels nearly as de Grassi has to go over onto the runoff area. A slightly wider line forced over by Pantano, who looks to have preserved his lead. And could this be a second successive win for Giorgio Pantano, the only man to win 2 races this season? Well, he's now leading with 6 laps to go and possibly on his way to a 3rd.
Well, Pantano has been extremely quick through the complex all race long, gives him great speed down the hanger straight. And at this stage of the game, I think Lucas de Grassi has killed his tyres a little bit too much, slow onto the hanger straight, and there was nothing he could do to resist.
Alfonso likes that a lot. Oh, Pastor Maldonado is now out of the race, and that's quite a major off, going backwards into the tyre barrier there. And he's moving around a bit. Let's see what happened. That's going round Stowe there. Whoa, just across the track, almost took out the car following behind him, lost control completely, no traction whatsoever after going off onto the dirt. And finally, we get to see Pastor Maldonado get out of the car, which is good news, but that was almost a sideways impact for the Venezuelan.
Well, quite a sizable impact there, and, you know, again, just a case of a demonstration of how different these cars are to drive at this stage of a race compared to the way they were earlier in the race with some shiny new Bridgestone tyres on. This is one of the challenges of GP2. It's something that these drivers really learn about, and it does bring the racing alive in a nice long race like this. It's really brought this race alive, and a lot of places are changing, have changed, and maybe still will change as Karun Chandhok now looking to try and close the gap between himself and Romain Grosjean, trying to drop Bruno Senna, but it's not all that easy. And look, the gap has closed down a lot.
Well, we sensed that it was coming, and visually you can see just how much closer these cars have got now to Romain Grosjean. 5 laps to go, yellow flags being waved after Pastor Maldonado went off. Second last year, wasn't he, in the feature race, or in the sprint race, I should say, Pastor Maldonado. And he's been on the podium on the last 2 Saturdays in GP2. He's got a long walk back to the pits this afternoon, I'm afraid to say. Pantano leads, though. De Grassi now second, and this the battle between Romain Grosjean and Karun Chandhok down the main straight and into Copse Corner. Karun Chandhok gaining all the time. Grosjean, as they go wide through Copse, and I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time we get to the hanger straight, Karun Chandhok has got past Grosjean. No, just backs off a little bit there, going through Maggots and into Beckett's. He's got to be aware of the yellow flags ahead of him. Now, has he got the momentum down the hanger straight? He has. Almost pulling up to one side. Grosjean just blocks him off a little bit. Still riding with Karun Chandhok. Romain Grosjean holding on to 3rd place, and now down the inside goes Karun Chandhok. Realised that was the best place to try and do it, but yellow flags being waved. Has he overtaken there under yellow flags? Well, locking up of brakes ahead of him, Grosjean, and then Bruno Senna and Sebastian Buemi right on his tail now. Now, what's happened? He's just let him through, hasn't he? He's realised that he's overtaken under a yellow flag, and Karun Chandhok conceded the place back again.
It could well be. You've got to be very, very careful about overtaking under a yellow flag situation. They're there for a reason. They're obviously removing a car, and Bruno Senna wheel to wheel with Buemi there, hanging on to the outside, but has to concede the place. Got a slight delay there, being too close to Karun Chandhok through the previous corner, and gets bundled backwards as a result.
And locking up of brakes again, Romain Grosjean, who might have got his 3rd place back again, but he's not out of the heat just yet.
No, not yet. Grosjean's car just does not have the pace. Karun Chandhok, fabulous race from the Indian driver, 10th on the grid. He's just plugged away throughout the entire race, and he and his car are in very good shape. Competitive lap times all the way. And look at the pace he's able to carry out of Kopp's corner. He's got the inside line now into Beckett's. Can he carry it off?
No, did he just back off a little bit, just wanting to avoid a collision there? Maybe safety first, think about it again on the next lap. But Romain Grosjean rather easily slammed the door shut there and held on to third place again, down the hanger straight. Well, Karun Chandhok won't try and get past on this occasion. Buemi's catching him. Bruno Senna at the back of this field now. Sixth place for him. Behind runs Andy Zuber and then Luca Filippi. But what a great battle this is. Grosjean third, Chandhok, and then Buemi locking up and brakes again, and that's got to be Romain Grosjean, who's getting no help from his tyres whatsoever. Round club, round the outside goes Bruno Senna, trying to get his fifth place back from Sebastian Buemi, almost forced off onto the grass. This is fantastic GP2 racing here, and Grosjean locks up again. Every time he touches the brakes, we see more clouds of smoke.
Well, as you lose tyre grip, so you lose performance on braking, but there is a brake adjuster in the car. You could change the brake balance to help you a little bit there, but just again a sign of the fact that these drivers struggling for grip at this stage of the race.
And there goes Karun Chandhok through, and Sebastian Buemi is now alongside Grosjean. He fancies his chances as well. Bruno Senna closing right up on him. Buemi trying the inside line. Senna almost shunting these cars ahead of him, forwards and along, almost touching the back of Buemi's car. Chandhok has got through into third place. The yellow flags have they're not being waved now down at Stowe. So we're not under any racing restrictions at the moment, as Romain Grosjean goes wide through Kops, and Buemi has got ahead of Romain Grosjean. Now, well, has he? Grosjean he goes wide through Kops, loses all the momentum, and then suddenly manages to gets it back again through Maggots and Beckett. Oh, three cars side by side, almost going down the hanger straight. Buemi might just lose a place here to Bruno Senna, who's waited patiently and now gets his place back again. Senna is up into fifth, might fancy fourth, going through into Stowe. Fantastic stuff as they slide round, and Bruno Senna goes wide and goes off-roading, and he gets his place and then loses it straight away. And more smoke from Grosjean.
Well, it just shows how difficult it is to follow closely through a fast corner like that. These cars are extremely dependent on the aerodynamic downforce that the wings are giving. Get too close to the car in front, it's almost impossible to carry the same speed through the corner. And Grosjean hanging in there by the skin of his teeth.
Well, there goes Buemi again. Grosjean under so much pressure here. So it's the hardest fourth place he'll ever get if he manages to hang on to it. More smoke. It's like watching one of the Silverstone campsites, the amount of smoke on the track here this afternoon. The fires will be burning long into the night here. So many fans camping out this weekend. Our leader, Giorgio Pantano, starts the last lap of the race. I could want 36 more laps of this afternoon. It has been absolutely incredible. Lucas di Grassi, 3.5 seconds back in second. Then comes Karun Chandhok, maybe on for a podium here, looking dead cert for a podium. But Grosjean, Buemi, Senna, what order will they finish at? As Grosjean goes wide once again. Behind him, Sebastian Buemi comes up, wheel to wheel, through Maggots they come. Buemi's got the inside line. Has he made it stick? Yes, this time he does. Behind Grosjean, Bruno Senna, now down the hanger straight, might have a little look as well. What a fantastic climax to this GP2 race.
Senna tucked in there behind Grosjean. Grosjean defending down the hanger straight to the inside. Bruno around the outside. Can he sweep his way around there this time? Wheel to wheel. They're touching wheels all the way around, but Bruno staying on the racetrack this time. He's got to defend into Vale. Don't forget Romain Grosjean struggling with the brakes there. More smoke from the ART car, but this time losing 2 places in 1 lap.
Romain Grosjean will want a 35-lap race again on this, because the last lap has rather done it for him. A valiant effort to try and hang on. He just couldn't hold his position. More smoke. Luckily for him, the checkered flag is in sight, otherwise Andy Zuber might fancy getting past that ART car as well. To this man, though, a first win here at Silverstone and his 7th race here on the Grand Prix circuit. Giorgio Pantano takes the checkered flag. The championship leader has won the feature race at Silverstone. Lucas di Grassi comes home to take second, and Karun Chandhok lives just down the road in Brackley. A local celebration for Karun Chandhok here at Silverstone.